Hello, welcome back to UTS RC. I think it's about time we did some upgrades. Let's get on it. Hello, yes, welcome back. So I think it's about time. Some of these new cars that we've got in, I think we need to start doing the upgrade. Now at this point, I will say a big thank you to Ian at RC OCM on YouTube. Go and check his channel out. Have a look on eBay. For my UK viewers, he has an eBay site where he sells parts for these cars. So, that being said, it's time to start upgrading the Wpl C24-1. So, I have taken a few of the little bits off, mainly because I can't put it on the shelf. So, I've had to take the snorkel off. So, what have we got? This is from Ian. We have the metal drive shafts. No, we don't. They're metal axles. They're the drive shafts. We also have the transmission joints, just to see if we need those. Where have they gone? There we go. Little adapters. Now from Endura, I've got some rather nice black spoked and silver wheels. I've gone for two types of tyres. Now I've gone for the same height of tyre because I don't want to sort of go too overscale, if you know what I mean. So I've got some of these. I'm going to try these from Red Spider. Now one of these are for rock crawling and the other are for swamp tyres apparently, or swamp crawling, or rock terrain. So let's just have a little look at these. These come with the inserts. They are super soft. That's those. And so they're the rock ones. And these ones, does it say on what these ones are? Super ultra soft sticky rubber tyres. Oh yeah, they are very, very super soft. Oh, I think I might go with them. They're quite nice. Let's go with those. We'll try these. So we'll put them to one side. We'll use them on something else. What else did we get from Ian? We also got the 2-speed transmission. So everything in that kit is there. Again, from WPL, but from Ian's eBay account. So we'll also look at that. That might be a job in the future because I may need to look at the remotes, because obviously the remote I get with these ones, they don't have the third channel. They've only got obviously steering 1, steering 2, so you don't get a third channel. So I might have to look at upgrading the remote and the receiver, possibly changing over to a Dumbo RC. Not sure, but that will come in time. However, first job, I think I want to get these tyres put on and these wheels, and we'll take it from there. Right, so these have also just been delivered. These are the 5 to 7mm hexes. You will need those if you are going to fit anything aftermarket. They will go on not only these axles, but also the metal ones supplied, again, by Ian at RCOCM. Okay, these are the wheels that we have gone for. Let's have a look at these. Now these are aluminium. Didn't want to add too much weight, obviously, because we've got the metal axles going on, the metal drive shafts and everything else. But these from Endura are lovely. So let me get one of these wheels on. I think there's probably about 48 screws per wheel, so I could be here for some time. So let me get these wheels and tyres on, and I will come back to you once I've got them fitted onto the truck. go, that's looking loads better. 112 screws later, but they are on. And I'll be honest with you, when I first put them on, it was quite a wider track than what I was expecting. But I'll be honest with you, it's kind of grown on me. I quite like it. Again, it's going to be an off-roader, trail truck, rock crawler truck, so we'll see how we get on with these. Right, next job I think is going to be to get this body off, because in the grand scheme of things, that body is not going to stay nice and white. We are going to weather it, but that's going to be down the line. So we'll get the body off and we will have a look at doing the links, the axles and the drive line for it. So let's start stripping it down. That all stripped down. This cover I've taken off because obviously this is what the body sits on, but I'm going to have to modify this because I want to take the servo from where it is now attached to the chassis and I want to put it on the axle. So I have got some parts coming for that. However, I'm going to put these screws to one side so I don't get them all mixed up. Everything's taken off that I want off. I've taken the front grille off with the lights. Yeah, I think we'll start stripping this down now. Started to strip this down. I thought to myself, what can I do with these shocks? Because I don't have any replacement shock absorbers for this. And then I remembered the TRX4M, I changed over the shocks. So I've dug out the original shock absorbers from the TRX4M and I've just fit them to this. Now I've had to sort of butcher the bottom ring here on this shock for it to sit over the actual mount. However, we've put some standoff washers on the top. I just want to tighten up a little bit. But we've got actual suspension now on the rear, as opposed to the boingy boingy horrible friction shocks that we did have. So yeah, not entirely sure how I'm going to do the fronts. I have used some of the bolts that I've got spare. Yeah, might have to have a little bit of artistic license on the front ones, but we'll see. We'll see how we get on. Right, I'll get back to stripping this down. Right, I promise I'll get it stripped down in a minute, but I just wanted to say the front TRX4M shocks are also now on. So we now have oil fill shocks on the truck. We've taken the servo out, so the servo has come out of this section here. So I think when it does go on and the parts have arrived, 1 minute. So there are the parts. So the servo mount will go here. So where the current one is, the servo mount will go there, and the servo will sit on the top of that. So I think what I'm going to have to do is cut this tray, not the previous tray, not that one, this one, to make the hole for the recess. Otherwise the servo isn't going to go through at all. Right, I promise now I'm going to take everything off. Okay, so not only have I stripped it down, I've also managed to get the metalwork on there as well. I'll be honest with you, I did record it, however the sound was corrupt on it, so I can't use it, so a little bit unfortunate. However, metalwork is on. Was a little bit of a faff in places. What I will say, if you are going to run the original motor, this sits awfully close to the motor. Don't know if you can see it there. Get a bit closer to the camera. It sits very close, so I've had to turn the bolt and the screw head the other way around so it fits. When you do fit the axles, you can move this arm because it usually comes it being here, so move it to the top. It gives you a little bit more clearance. So the next thing I need to do is trim the top here, the original cradle for the steering servo, because that is now fouling underneath. But I don't want to cut all of that away because it also houses the top of that on there, so I can mount the body. So next job, get that cut away. Okay, so that's that mounted. The servo is now in place. I'll be honest with you, they were a bit of a faff to fit as well, but never mind, it's done. And there we've cut a hole in the top. I've not gone all the way because I need that post to go into the other panel at the top for the cab to sit on. So I'm going to have to see how I get on with that. The shocks actually bottom out just as it's about to hit the top. So yeah, we'll have to see how we get on. I think the articulation might be the issue, but get the wheels on. I'll start stripping all the bodywork down. Everything's off the body now, so I can start with that. So I think we'll call it a day on this one. Tune in to episode 2 and we will start on with the bodywork. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one.